Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. On Fridays, we talk about the product owner role in Scrum. We talk about patterns and anti-patterns that relate to ours and the team's collaboration with the product owner. And we've also put together a course to help you navigate that relationship. There's 18 modules, nearly 8 hours of tools, techniques, videos, handouts, presentations you can use to help you and your team work better with your product owner. The course is available at bit.ly/coach-your-PO. All lowercase, all one word. That's bit.ly/coach-your-PO. And now, on to the show, the Product Owner Show. Hello everybody, welcome to our TGIF and Product Owner episode this week with Marouane. Hi Marouane, welcome back.
Hi Vasco, a pleasure to be here again.
So Marouane, on Fridays, of course, we talk about product owners and we'll talk about a great product owner later, but for now, share with us what might have been potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
I would say the bossy product owner.
So what is a bossy product owner?
A bossy product owner. A product owner that does not know really his role. He thinks that he is the boss and he thinks that he's given orders to the rest of the team and that he's the only one that is right and also interfering in the job of others, in the job of the Scrum Master, in facilitations, in the job of technical lead if there is one, in the job of, and he thinks that he's holding the universal truth. So that, like a product owner, really anti-pattern I could identify, and I experienced some of them that they needed help.
So as Scrum Masters, of course, we need to figure out okay, so how do I help my team, right? So you don't necessarily choose the team or the product owner you are going to work with, but you do choose how you act once you know which product owner you're working with. So Marouane, these days when you go into a team and you get a hint, a sign that maybe this PO is really the bossy PO anti-pattern, what do you do? How do you help a PO like that?
First, really simple. I do organize a training. And I do explain the roles of Scrum. And I do explain the role of the team members, the role of the Scrum Master, and the role of the PO. Okay, what he does, he holds the vision, he prioritizes the backlog, he's there to aggregate visions of the stakeholders, maybe also depending on the organization that he will be managing the budget. And I do explain those kind of things so we understand more or less what are his key responsibilities and accountabilities in an agile team or Scrum team.
Absolutely. So, of course, we need to work on the roles, clarify them. But the bossy PO sounds like it's not only about knowing the role, right? It's also about what's the perspective on the work. Like, it's my product. That's something that even Scrum says. And people might actually take it too seriously, right? So you've done the training and then you see that actually, okay, there's some things that have changed, but the bossy PO is still bossy.
Yeah.
What next?
Next, maybe to give them some bibliography. For instance, Jeff Patton. Jeff Patton user story mapping. Okay, and Jeff Patton, he will be not talking about a product owner. He will be talking about a product team. And what if we have a product team? What if we don't have a product team? You are the product owner, but you can consider your team members, the agile team, as product partners and product team, so they can provide you visions as also possible end users of the product. So that would be another stimulus that could be received in order to help this product owner to shift his mindset. But it takes time. So there are trainings, there are one-to-one discussions, there are bibliography. There are like invitations to go to some community events, like agile community events. So it might take some time, but I think that it will take more or less around 2 months, 3 months till he gets adapted to the new situation. And sometimes also with the bossy payos, with the bossy product owners, also sometimes you need to address the sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes you need to address the thing with the top management, okay? And then when the top management talk about it, the bossy people, when they receive the bossy instructions, they just, they just, I don't know. I think they just like get into it. They do accept it.
I think that one of the things that you said right is even we Scrum Masters sometimes forget that Scrum is a team sport, right? And even the latest Scrum guide says that the PO is part of the team, which the previous ones didn't. And I think that's a very important realization and insight for us to use, is that it's the whole team that develops the product. Now, it's not the whole team that is the product owner, but of course they contribute to that, right? So and being able to create that collaboration around the product is something that helps maybe the product owner feel more confident and trusting more that the team can make certain decisions. Now, of course, as you said, and I totally agree, a transition from being a bossy PO to being the perfect PO, quote unquote, is going to be lengthy. It's not going to happen quickly, but that metaphor of the product team, I think it can be a very powerful tool in our toolbox.
Yeah, and sometimes I must say that when I analyzed the situation of some product owners, I found that this behavior was coming from a fear to lose their position or to lose the power or to like insecurity. So sometimes it's really important, I think, for any before handling any problem to try to understand what is coming from and create psychological safety.
Absolutely. That's a great addition. So, Marouane, now we turn our attention to the opposite, the mirror image of this bossy PO, which might be potentially the best product owner you've ever worked with. So describe that product owner for us.
Highly collaborative, listening, and when he would listen, he would answer with a lot of respect to the people that they ask the question, that they try to aggregate their visions to the vision of product, and he will give them some data, some really enhance their vision about the product. So he will be asking for challenges. Okay, challenge me about the vision. What do you want to add to this product? What do you think it's like really important for this product? And then he will be giving the insight why this is his good idea and why this is not a really good idea at the moment. Why this is the priority. He will be having really clear insight on the market needs, on the features to build on, and he will be listening also to the team about the complexity. Normally, those kind of product owners, the ones I really did appreciate, they were coming from IT background. Most of them they did develop, so they could really discuss with the teams technically things, understand the technical depths, the consequences of it, and they were like okay, they were past like they passed few years developing and the technical matters, and then they moved to the strategical and to the market matters, like to really the business. And those guys, they were like amazing.
Absolutely. I think one thing that you said, like being able to speak the team's language, is a great asset for a product owner, because even if they are not necessarily technical, but if they can create that understanding with the team, they build trust much more quickly. They convey their ideas much more quickly, and everything is so much easier, right? So helping the PO learn to speak the team language is also an important responsibility for us, right? Maybe the PO isn't technical, and that's okay, but how do we help them bridge that gap and start to speak in a way that links, that touches the team, right? I think that level of communication is very important, and we can do something about it.
Definitely, I agree, fully agree with you, Vasco. It's really important. As you said, the agile teams that are really working well, very well, in efficient way, the product owner is part of the team. Is not considered like an external person to the team. So it's really important to build the team with the product owner and all the team members. That all of them they believe and they feel that they are within the same team.
Absolutely. Man Marwan, we're getting close to the end. It's been a great week with you here. Unfortunately, we do have to go. But before we do, where can we find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
Thank you, Vasco. It has been an absolute pleasure to spend this week with you. I really enjoyed it. You can find me on LinkedIn, Med Marwan Ajrawi, and you can find also my blog on Jedi Squad, jedisquad.com or jedisquad.fr. I have both languages, French and English.
Absolutely. And we'll put the link to those on the show notes for sure so that everybody can find Marwan and also ask questions, share your insights that you got from these episodes, and also help our guests learn by giving them feedback. So do get in touch. Marwan, it was a pleasure. So thank you very much for being with us and for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Vasco, to give my voice to the community. I really admire what you are doing for the other community. Keep it up, keep it up. Thank you very much, and looking forward to meet you in another.
As soon as we can start traveling, right?
Yes, be good and enjoy and keep it up. Thank you very much.
One more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is over. But there's a lot more we have to share. We have developed our own membership site where you find a community of active and engaged Scrum Masters. In this site, you get access to exclusive content and get to interact with us, your podcast hosts, as well as the best Scrum Masters in the world. Join us at scrummastertoolbox.com/podcast and keep this podcast free of advertising. See you next week for one more week full of Scrum Master tips and tricks. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.